here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am playing with some Brutus Monroe products. Now I do have these stamped images from the inspiration box of the month. Just in case you want to see everything, this is what that stamp set looks like. It's got duckies and fun spring things and Easter baskets. Now I am also going to be using the stamp of the die of the month from February and one of my favorite alphabet stamp sets ever. I'm scrapbooking this photo of my daughter dyeing Easter eggs, and I'm going to use this paper from PhotoPlay, which I got from Brutus Monroe as well, some black cardstock, and then I'll pull in a few other black and white items from my stash. So let's see what I can do. All right, now as you guys know, I am not a huge fan of coloring my stamped images. I really do enjoy painting them though. So I grabbed the Speckled Egg Distress Oxide and a thin little brush and decided to just use that to paint a little bit of color on these eggs. And I chose the Speckled Egg because it's a pretty close match to color-wise for the little dots that are on the PhotoPlay paper. Now I am using this super long bristled brush, and I make a change and go for a smaller brush because now I've lost the brush cap. There it is. Because that long brush, I just needed a little bit more control to get color into the places on these eggs. So I am going to color in about half of the eggs so that there's a little bit of contrast. And then I'm also going to color in the bow and the little things on the basket sides. I don't know what they're called. And I know it's not the basket handle, but the little wraparound thingies on the basket. So those are all going to be colored in with the Speckled Egg. I am not going to make you watch me paint all of that in or fussy cut all of it out. I did use scissors and a straight blade though to go ahead and get those fussy cut apart. So now it is time to start making the layout. I went ahead and trimmed off that branding strip, and the branding strip is going straight into the bin. Two reasons. One, this branding strip doesn't have a lot of fun things on it, and two, I don't really use branding strips. So I've decided to build my photo over on the left-hand side of the page, and that is because my daughter is looking into the right. So she looks kind of like she's leaning up against the left-hand side of the page. I add on a doily and a little black Halloween treat bag from my stash, but nobody needs to know that it's a Halloween treat bag because, you know, we're going to cover that up. Then I also grab some tape from my stash and place it down here on the paper. Now I'm, having a little mini crisis of whether I should put the glitter on the top or the bottom. Ultimately, I decide glitter goes on the bottom. We're going to be able to see more of it that way. And then I am going to build up my little photo mat. So I don't have a traditional photo mat because I am using the treat bag and the doily. I'm going to go ahead and place it over here on the left-hand side of the page, but a little bit farther right than I normally would place a photo like this. And that is just because I am making this treat basket be a decorative element on the left-hand side. Now I do decide to pop this bad boy up just to give it a little bit of oomph and a little bit of lift off the page. I am leaving it in black and white and the speckled egg color. I just think that that turns out to be a pretty striking combination for this layout. It really does lend itself to looking at the photo more than the decoration on the page. And, sometimes I want you to look all over the page and look at the decorations, and sometimes I just want you to look at the photo and just that big old smile on Lana's face as she is decorating eggs. She's kind of an egg aficionado these days. So there we have it. I went and grabbed some of the heat-resistant vellum, and my original thought for grabbing that was I was going to make a shaker out of the basket. I quickly nixed that idea when I realized, duh, Sandy, you put all of your foam squares on there. So I just decided to tear off a little strip of it and add another layer over here behind my photo. It's not giving a lot of weight to the page, and it's not giving a lot of like bam pow in your face, but it is giving a little bit of softness and a little bit of a different texture, because this is a very monochromatic feeling layout, even with the other touches of color. So that vellum just gives it a little bit of, I guess, differentiation right there. Now I was thinking about how could I bring in some more vellum, and while I was thinking about that, I decided to add more adhesive to my photo, ended up tearing the doily. Good thing that the part of the doily that I tore was underneath of the photo, because then, you know, nobody has to know about it, unless you guys go telling everyone. Now I'm trying to figure out how to add this fourth egg onto my page, and I pulled out the February die of the month, and I'm going to use the word love. Now I'm trying to figure out how I want to do the word eggs. I'm thinking, do I want to emboss it? Do I want to like solid letters, or do I just want to do the outlines? I end up going with the outlines, and the great thing about these alphabet stamps is that they come with multiple letters. So you can actually stamp out an entire word and not have to have like a gaping hole if you needed two E's, or in this case, two G's, because I'm spelling eggs. That makes it super awesome and easy if you're going to stamp your word in one fell swoop. I'm not doing that. I do stamp them out in order, but I am cutting these apart. So I am taking some Brutus Monroe ultra fine embossing powder in Raven and putting it right over top of the stamped letters. I'm going to grab my heat tool and heat this bad boy up. Now this is a heat resistant vellum, so you can apply your heat tool to it a little bit longer than you could regular vellum without it kind of warping up. But you don't want to spend a lot of time in one place with your heat tool on any kind of vellum, even if it is heat resistant. It's not heat proof, it's just resistant. Now I'm going to fussy cut out these letters, and I am leaving just a tiny, 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 tiny little edge around the black outline. And I'm not going to get inside the little bits of letters where that G is, the little S parts, or the lines in between the E's. I'm just not going to worry about that. Right now I don't have the patience to cut it out, and it doesn't bother me. So if it's not bothering me, then why even spend the time doing it? So once I get those cut out, I'm going to run it through a sticker maker. And what that is going to do is allow me to have adhesive on the full back of the vellum without seeing any kind of adhesive marks when I place it down on the page. Now, you can do this with a bunch of different kinds of adhesive. You could even use like sheets of adhesive, whatever you want to do. Now I just have to figure out how I want the title to go. I'm trying to figure out if I want the letters to be over top of the tapes, if I want it on the background paper, like what do I want to do here? What do I think looks good? I do grab a rhinestone brad from my stash as well, because I mean, what Easter eggs don't need a big old rhinestone brad, right? I'm just trying to figure out placement, so I spread the tines apart, and I really don't like this. There's just something about it that doesn't feel right. And I figure it's because there is this big expanse of treat pocket on the right-hand side here. So I just decide that I'm going to tear the treat pocket down, and instead of having the cool kind of bag look on the right-hand side, it's just going to be a torn edge. And this works because I do have the torn edge of the vellum on the left-hand side. So it's not like I just have this paper tearing coming out of left field and you're like, where in the world did that come from? So now I have two places where I've torn paper on the layout, so it makes a little bit more sense. Plus, it gets rid of that large black expanse of treat bag. Now, I was going to try to stick my die cut word through the sticker maker as well, but it didn't fit. It was a little bit too large. I'm going to pull off those vellum stamped letters that I made, and I'm going to place them right on top of the tape. And there we go, we've got eggs. Now I'm going to glue down the love word as well after I figure out where that egg is going to live. I really do like that big old rhinestone. I know that there isn't rhinestones anywhere else on the layout, but I've got the glitter, we got the rhinestones, we got the vellum. I feel like it just all works together. Now I do pull some letter stickers from my stash because I want it to say she loves eggs, but I realize my die cut word is not loves, it's love, and I can't have a layout that says she love eggs. It would drive me insane. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out, and we're just going to be love eggs. Now, you might be thinking, Sandy, you maniac, that drives me crazy, but for some reason this does not. But adding that she on top of there, oh, it just stresses me out. And you know I'm all about not having a stressful time when I'm scrapbooking, so we're just going to ignore that. I am going to pop a hole over top of the tapes with a paper piercer and put my brad tines through the paper. Of course, I'm putting washi on the back of those brad tines because I do not want those brads to hit the layout that will be on the back side of this in its page protector. I don't want any damage happening to my layouts because of stuff that's poking through the back. I do add a line of journaling about Lana is a pro at decorating eggs for Easter and add the date. Now this is not the only Easter layout that I have for this year. They do span multiple pages. So now I just do a kind of sketchy doodly border around the outside, and that is going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. I will leave some links to the products that I use down below, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.